Got conversation about death. Got conversation about building a nation, about gaining knowledge of self. Not here to deceive ya. We'll make you a believer. Come build a nation with conversation, with prophecy and Atiba. Conversations between comrades. Yo, what's up? This is Conversations Between Comrades, and I'm your host, Comrade Prophecy, Brother Prophecy, and you're probably wondering what my other comrade is. So, kind of got to start the show off with some kind of sad news, some unfortunate news. Comrade Atiba actually has had his phone compensated, taken away from him, and so he's not on the show tonight, and he's not going to be able to get on the show until we are able to get him a new phone. He's able to secure a new telephone. So, it is what it is. It's one of those things that kind of happens because his situation. He is a comrade who is doing hard time, and police took his phone. So now it's just a conversation between me and y'all. So, y'all the comrades we having a conversation with. We still gonna keep it going. We still gonna make it happen, do what it do. We're gonna talk that good old blackish, that new African perspective, freeing the land, elevating our mind, and working together to try to build some real concrete and make on a better world, because that's what we do here. Everybody out there, make sure you give us a like. Make sure you check in, drop a comment so you can let us know who out there who listening to this. And also, tag somebody in who might be interested in this type of content, this type of conversations, because that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to elevate, we're trying to build, we're trying to free the land, we're trying to create a better world. That's what we're doing here. In a minute, I'm gonna step out just for a second, and I'm gonna try to tag in some more people, so let everybody know that the word is out. But while I'm doing this, I'm gonna leave y'all with some words from a brother who assassination just passed. The anniversary of his assassination just passed on December 4th. He's none other than Fred Hampton Sr., Chairman Fred Hampton Sr., outstanding brother. If you don't know about this brother, you should learn it. They made a movie about him and his situation and really his assassination called Judas and the Black Messiah. Excellent film. Make sure y'all check that out. But while I go take care of this business, I'm gonna leave y'all with a clip of this brother just talking and doing what he do. Free the land. This is a conversation between comrades.
You basically knowing my ideology, basically me knowing yours, you can support some of our programs. Is that what you're saying?
Why not?
And you believe in programs like the Breakfast with Children program and free health clinics? Right on, brothers?
We believe they're good things.
Uh-huh.
As a focal point to organize their mothers and fathers.
Uh-huh.
Peace.
Mm-hmm. There's no educational program here?
That's come out of the social action thing. You set that up, brother. I mean, we can't put everything on one piece of paper.
What about this bank?
Credit union?
Mm-hmm.
Credit union. Credit union, my brother.
Is a bank.
Are you hip to credit unions? It is a bank.
Yeah, you go and borrow money?
Yeah, it's a bank. It's a bank. Owned by the people. Run for the people. And by the people.
What will money be given out to people for?
Well, the people would decide that. You want to buy, whatever, the people in the community decide. You need some living room furniture, maybe? You need a car, maybe?
See, the thing is with me, you dig, I need to know some more about it. I wish you had some more literature about the educational thing here. Because, you dig, as far as we're concerned in the struggle, the way we look at struggle is that this depends on the educational thing, you dig. Because
this depends on the education. Well, the whole thing.
No, but in the end, this does. You can form this with no education. You can form this.
No, not the way we're talking about forming it. You know, right. We're talking about forming it right. You know, it's not on the paper. We didn't write it on the paper.
Form it right with no education.
No.
Let me give you an example. Jomo Kenyatta formed the excellent revolution with no education. And on the end thing, Jomo told the motherfucker, said, well, you know, you been educated to hate the enemy, but I'm your brother. I'll help you lead the revolution. Now I'm going to oppress you. Another example, Papa Doc in Haiti. Papa Doc in Haiti hated everything white. Man, you couldn't put this white paper in front of Papa Doc's face. But he moved all the white people out and he took over and be the president. He did, because of no education. And the people that had been educated, they just said that we don't hate the motherfucking white people, we hate the oppressor, whether he be white, black, brown, or yellow. So we got to know the educational program to find out what is going to be in the finale. A lot of people, Jomo Kenyatta is called never a revolutionary, but an ex-revolutionary. So is Papa Doc. They brought on a successful revolution. That thing in the Mao's was a bitch. Bantu freedom fighters, all that kind of action. But what we're saying is that it's the end. But you don't judge Castro now. You can't do it. Nobody in this room could judge whether Castro's going to be a revolutionary or not. You know what I mean? We're talking about things, you know what I mean, with China, the People's Republic, and even at the stage they're in now, talking about even going on further into a communistic state. That's what we're talking about. Those are revolutionary. So we got to understand here the educational program that you have to be able to figure out whether it will go on the right lines where the people will end up in a situation where they can be able to really control themselves. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, the people that take this local foundation and start stealing money because they won't be really educated to why it's the people's thing anyway. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, you have neo-colonialism instead of colonialism, like you got in Africa now, like you got in Haiti. So what we're talking about is there has to be an educational program. That's very important. As a matter of fact, it's so important for us that a person has to go through 6 weeks of our political education before he can consider himself a member of the party, able to even run down ideology for the party. Why? Because if they don't have an education, then they're nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? They're nowhere because they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. You might get people caught up in the emotionalist movement. You understand me? You might get them caught up in because they're poor and they want something. And then if they're not educated, they want more. And before you know it, they'll be capitalists. And before you know it, we have Negro imperialists.
And that was the wise words of Fred Hampton Sr. I wanted to play that clip because December 4th just passed about a week or so ago, and that was the anniversary of his assassination. And for people who know, he was brutally assassinated by the FBI, the counterintelligence program. It wasn't even like they didn't even do it like they did Malcolm. They didn't even do it like they did Martin Luther King. You know, at least with them, they tried to cover it up. They tried to hide it. They tried to make it seem like it wasn't what it was. But with Brother Fred Hampton, this brother was so powerful and had so much potential that they just straight out killed him. Police stormed the Panther House and just murdered him. Went straight to his room and shot him point blank while he slept in bed. So that's why, you know, I wanted to get an opportunity for everybody to see, you know, a really powerful brother who was able to unite people, you know, across racial lines. He united Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, Black people, the native indigenous population. They call that the Indian movement back in the day. Even poor whites, you know, all under the banner of revolutionary change in this country, you know. But everybody out there, you know, if y'all listening to this program, give us a like. Make sure you drop a line, you know, let us know who out there so we can probably converse with you. If you are not aware, by now, my comrade who's usually doing the show with me had his phone taken away from him. As you should know, our comrade is basically, you know, serving life in prison, doing hard time right now. That's why this show is really unique, because it has a perspective that you're not going to get anywhere else. But so he's down. He doesn't have a phone, and he's going to be down until we can get him another phone. But, you know, he was able to contact me, matter of fact, before the show. He talked with me, and he was in high spirits, and he said he coming back, y'all. He coming back. Don't think he gone, you know, forever. He will be back, and he sending revolutionary love to everybody out there. So until he get back, We're gonna hold it down. So I'm gonna be having a conversation with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, check in, y'all. Let me know who out there. I see Melly Queen out there doing her thing. You doing your thing, Queen. Letting everybody know, letting the word out, and I do appreciate that. Appreciate that. And everybody who's listening to this, do me a favor, help us get the word out. You know, anybody that you know that would be interested in this type of conversation, interested in this type of dialogue, interested in this type of content, you know, just drop a line, put their name down, drop a comment with their name so they'll be alerted, so they'll know that it's a show that's providing some new African perspectives, some revolutionary nationalist, pan-African freedom fighters, content that goes against the national narrative. We ain't gonna be talking about the same perspective as the mainstream media. We're gonna give you a different perspective, gonna give you a different outlook. You know, thing from a new African perspective. This is from the perspective of a people who is tired of being tired, from a people who is tired of the status quo, from a people who is not trying to just integrate into the American system of capitalism and exploitation. Somebody says, you know what, y'all can have that, we can do better. And people who are actively trying to bring about a better condition and better situation. So y'all let us know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Let us know who out there. Drop a line, you know, so I can greet you properly and we can start this back and forth conversation. There's a lot that I want to talk about, a lot been going on. Bo Money, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Free the land. Propaganda of new African ideology is the duty of every conscious new African citizen. Keep doing the work, comrade. And it's so good to hear from you. And you also keep doing what you do. That's our Minister of Information, Comrade Bomani, checking in. And that brother got a couple of shows. He's up there with just at George Jackson University. He be having dope guests. And the brother is like a walking dictionary. He got so much knowledge. I mean, I met him in person only once, and that was New African Nation Day last week in Birmingham. And that brother, as soon as I started talking to him, he just started dropping knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So y'all ever get an opportunity to experience what that brother do, make sure you take advantage of it. Great brother. You know, I'm so happy you was checking in, brother. Hey, Andrea, how you doing? Hello to you, Miss Martinez. Good to see you. Let me see. Obafemi. I know I probably just messed up your name, brother. I am so sorry. I do apologize, but free the land to you. I will by any means necessary. Glad to see everybody checking in. You know, we're gonna have us a good time. For everybody who don't know, I'll tell y'all one more again. Comrade Atiba lost his phone. The popos took it away from him. Y'all know that my comrade, the co-host to this show, is doing hard time in life, which makes this one of the most unique shows in the land. But he lost his phone, so he's not gonna be on there. But he gives everybody revolutionary love, and he said he coming back, y'all. He may be down, but he gonna get right back up, and he coming back. But let me do something real quick. Sorry about that. All right. See, usually when my comrade is there, I just put it on him and then I get up and do that type of stuff. But, you know, free the land to you, comrade Melly Queen. Who you got on your show tomorrow? For those people who don't know, you are watching the NABA Network, New African Broadcast Association, and we got a whole bunch of shows all through the week. We just lay down that new African propaganda, educate the uneducated, and build and try to connect with people to try to bring about a better world and change our collective condition here in America. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we strive to do. So yeah, Melly Queen, let us know who you got on your show tomorrow. Melly Queen, she got a dope show coming up tomorrow. But anyway, man, let's get into it because it's a lot of stuff been going on. Probably heard the sister Britney Griner was released 2 days. Now she was held in a Russian prison because she got caught with like some marijuana and like some vape pen cartridges or something like that. And if you didn't know anything about Russian law, they take that like real serious. You know, their laws are really strict when it comes to things like marijuana. And she was sentenced to 9 years in prison. 9 years for vape, for marijuana. That's like, you know, that seems kind of extreme to us. But she was able to be released today. It was a prison swap with for a guy by the name of Victor Boot. Yeah, Victor Boot. He was an arms dealer. Yeah, he was an arms dealer. They actually made a movie about him called, I think, like The Lord of War, about, you know, trading arms and all of these type of things. But she's out, and a lot of people have been chiming in, and a lot of people have been, you know, giving their opinion, saying this way and that. And I mean, first and foremost, I think, you know, first of all, I'm happy for the sister. I'm happy for the sister, point blank. I'm glad she's home. You know, that is what that is. Some people would say, she's one of them LGBT, she gay. Now, forget that, man. You know what I'm saying? No, she our sister. I'm happy that she is home. Point blank. That's what that is, you know, on that. If you hating on her for her lifestyle, then, you know, that's your issue. You know, and as far as like the whole LGBT type, you know, situation, and this is my perspective, and I don't put this on anybody else. This is just how I look at it. I personally don't have a problem with what anybody do in their bedroom. That's your business, point blank. Now, from I understand there are politics, and we need a black nation. And in order to have a strong black nation, we need strong black families. And the foundation of the family is, of the nation is the black man, woman, and child. I understand that is true, that is real. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not here to, you know, hate somebody because of the lifestyle that you live, you know, you choose to live, and all of that type of thing. I'm not, you know, that's just me. But however, I don't agree with everything that the LGBT movement does. Now, it's a difference between criticizing an individual because of their lifestyle and criticizing a movement for some of the things that they are trying to do, for some of the things that they are trying to promote, for some of the policies that they're trying to pass, you know. So that's what I will say about that. So, you know, I don't really care if Britney Griner is gay or not. That's her business, whatever. I'm happy she's home, you know. Some of the other perspectives that I have seen today, and that is like people say, well, y'all want to be socialists. Well, you know, y'all want to be socialists and all this type of thing. Well, she got what she deserved. She over there in a socialist country over there in Russia, since y'all want to be socialists so bad. And they talk about how corrupt the Russian system is, and how she was falsely imprisoned, and how extreme her sentence was. 9 years for these vape cartridges, or, you know, with some marijuana in it. That seems so extreme. Now, when people say that type of stuff, I always look at it as, damn, y'all being real hypocritical. Extremely hypocritical. Do I need to remind you where we are? We are in the United States of America. The United States of America locks up more people than anybody else in the entire world, and that includes communist Russia. And really, Russia ain't really all that communist right now. You know what I'm saying? Putin trying to bring it back to communist, but that's another story. But yeah, we get, and I can't say we, the mainstream propaganda, the mainstream media perspective, they get really hypocritical and we forget about the things that the United States do. We forget what the United States has done to Black people. We forget about the mass incarceration program, which was fueled by laws written by the President of the United States, Mr. Joe Biden himself. We forget about all of that. I mean, yeah, okay. Britney Griner sentenced 9 years in Russia. Damn, that's a lot. But hold on, wait a minute. Let me get the name correct. What about Alan Russell? Alan Russell in Mississippi, who got sentenced for life for an ounce of marijuana in Mississippi. He in jail right now, y'all. And it ain't no prison exchange program for this brother. Ain't nobody, no politicians advocating for this brother. That's in Mississippi. That's now. That's real. Hold on, wait. What about Derrick Harris, Louisiana? He was sentenced to life also. Now, fortunately, enough people acted a fool where they got that overturned. But there's another brother who was sentenced for life for $30 worth of marijuana. $30 worth of marijuana. But we want to talk about Russia. We want, and first of all, don't get it twisted. Don't, get me wrong. I'm not advocating for Russia. I'm not cheerleading for Russia. I'm not saying Russia is good. No. Not anything. I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy of individuals in the United States. Because we always like to point the finger. And we always like to look at this particular country as though it has the moral high ground. It's the moral authority. It's the morality police for the world. When the reality is it's a bunch of damn hypocrites. It's a hypocrisy. Like Malcolm said, in America, democracy is hypocrisy. So, yeah, I mean, you can go on and on and on. I mean, it's a brother by the name of Wayne Bryant, also in Louisiana. Life in prison for stealing some hedge clippers. Stealing some hedge clippers. Now, I just gave you 3 examples of the United States prison system and how they screw over Black people. And it was more egregious than what happened in Russia with Britney Griner. Far more egregious. Far more egregious. The brother that they finally got let out, Derrick Harris. I mean, he still served more than 9 years. He served 15 before he got out. And this brother was a military vet. This brother served in Desert Storm. Fought for this country. You know how we say love the troops and all of that type of stuff. Well, this brother was one of the troops. And while he was over there fighting for this country, dying, killing, seeing his comrades, seeing his brothers die in this struggle, he got addicted to drugs. Dealing with some of the things that he had to deal with while going through war, this brother was addicted to drugs. And when he came back, he did not get the necessary help that he needed. And we all know people who strung out on drugs. We all know what they do. They steal. And this brother, trying to feed his drug addiction, stole, and he got caught. He got locked up. But instead, he should not have been locked up. He should have been treated for his addiction. And eventually they said, you know what? You keep stealing, so I'm just going to throw you in jail and lock up and throw away the key. Put you in jail and throw away the key. And they gave that brother life in prison, even though he was a drug addict. Now, even though right now, you know, since the opioid epidemic is affecting white folks, and they looking at drug addiction is a disease, which it should have always been looked at, but they're looking at it as a disease, and they're trying to get people help. That ain't the case when they do us. They just criminalize us, because under a system of capitalism, everything is reduced to a commodity. That includes crime. That includes the prison system. All of that. It is something that can make money for the ruling elite. That's why this system got to go. Because it's about profit, making as much money by a handful of individuals, even if that means at the expense and the exploitation of everybody else. And that is an inhumane system. Because understand, the most successful capitalist country in the world is the country that locks more people up in the world than anybody else by far. It's not even close. Not even close. So everybody talking about, yeah, Russia, man, you all want to be socialist, go to Russia, get locked up. And another thing about that, just do a Google search. Do a Google search. As a matter of fact, do a YouTube search. Go to YouTube and type in black people in Russia. And tell me what you get. You know, for the people who not going to do that, I'll let you know. I give you a sneak preview. You get a lot of films of black people saying, hey, I love it here. I don't face the same type of racism that I face in the United States and in Britain. I feel safer over in Russia than I feel in the United States and in Britain. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a cheerleader for Russia. No, I'm not. But I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy and contradiction, because I've been hearing all day, especially on mainstream news, mainstream radio, about how, oh, they've been doing, you know, this terrible thing that the Russians have been doing, and this, you know, and all these type of things. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, you know, 9 years for a cartridge or vape pen, that is extreme. It is. But so is it with this brother who got life for $30 worth of weed. So is it for Wayne Bryant, who got life for stealing some heads clippers. All of these individuals on drugs. Every example that I named are individuals who were on drugs. These were individuals who should have never been locked up. These are individuals who need help. One of them was a veteran who fought and killed for this country. But hey, it is what it is. I want to give a shout out to Freedom Power. What's up, comrade? Glad to have you here. Who is this? Angola Demosa Kundi. I know I probably messed that up. I'm so sorry, Angola. You know, but I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you're checking in. I see Freedom Power, a good example, and there are many, many, many more. You're so correct, brother. You are so correct. It's a whole lot of examples, a whole lot of things going on. A whole lot. I mean, they're examples that we'll never know about. There are things that happen in this country that we never know about. There's so many things that have been hidden, so much history that's been erased, so many things that's been going on. Is just, I mean, it's devastating. That's why we have to struggle and put our efforts into creating something new, something different, because we cannot continue to pass down a slave legacy to our children. We can't keep passing down a world that is based on the exploitation of man by man. We can do better than this. We must do better than this. I'm better than this. You're better than this. We're better than this. So we have to work together collectively. So we can make a better world, y'all. You know. But like I said, you know, I'm Brother Prophecy. You are listening to the conversation between comrades, and the only comrade I got with me is y'all today, because, man, unfortunately, my other comrade Atiba, got his phone taken, you know, because he's doing that hard time and things like that happen, you know. But I did talk to him, and he said that he's in good spirits, and he gives everybody revolutionary words, or revolutionary love, you know, to everybody out there. Let me see, Freedom Power, I see you out there doing your thing. We see every anti-prison in mass incarceration and any other prison movement should strap up their boots and organize to demand the Biden administration immediately release all political prisoners and drug offenders by executive orders now. This Griner boot swap leaves the Biden administration with no excuses to deny or filibuster. You know what? I think you are absolutely correct, comrade. I think you are absolutely correct, comrade. One thing that I do like about, you know, the times that we are in right now is that there are a lot of contradictions coming to the forefront. A lot of things are being exposed. You know, a lot of things we can see clearly. And this is that's another example of it, man. Another example. I mean, it's a lot of politics involved with the whole Griner thing, the whole Griner situation. Because, like, as soon as she got caught with those vape pens, I already knew, you know, this is going to be like real political. Because one thing you have to understand, what you have to understand is that Russia is involved in a war with the Ukraine right now. The United States of America funds the Ukraine. It gives them resources, it gives them weapons, it gives them money in order to fight Russia. Now, so just think about that. Think about that. You're giving this country weapons and money in order to fight them. Now, Russia has a prisoner, a high-profile prisoner locked up. And the United States come over and say, well, you know, hey, can we get that prisoner from you? Now, you think that it's not going to be a high price for that? You think Russia's just going to be like, oh, yeah, no problem, dog. You got it. You got it. No. See, at that point, Russia has what you call political leverage in that situation. That's political leverage. So therefore, they ain't just going to let that go. Especially since you giving billions of dollars to these people to fight me. I ain't just finna let that go. Now, what was interesting to me, y'all remember when Dennis Rodman said, yo, he gonna go over there to try to get her? And Biden was like, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Realistically, he probably had one of the better chances of doing that because Russia is extremely aware of the racial issues in America. They are aware of that. And Russia would probably entertain the idea of giving the prisoner to a black person. That's why back in the 80s, when they had hostages, they used to send people like Jesse Jackson over to get the prisoners, the hostages, because over there they were clear about the racial tensions and the issues and how the United States did black people in America. And see, globally, in a lot of places, when they look at America and Americans, they don't really look at black people as Americans. They look at black people as the victims of America. They look at, when they think about Americans, they think about white folks, white boys and girls, not black men and women. So, you know, yeah, but that's why Jesse Jackson, and back in the day, they used to give him the hostages because they didn't want to deal with these white folks, basically. You know, that's why we have to engage in nation building. We have to engage in nationhood, because once you identify yourself as a nation and you get recognized as a nation, and understand, in order to be recognized as a nation, you don't necessarily have to occupy land. You don't have to be in control of the land. You can just be struggling for the land. By definition, you will become what's called an oppressed nation. But if you just recognize, and if you feel the criteria is one, having a recognizable people, black people, have a landmass in which you are struggling for, we have the 5 states, have a government in which you can use in order to do business with other nations, which we do, the PGRNA. And you, last thing you need is one more person, one more country that's a part of the UN to recognize you. And then you will be considered a nation. But once you have that status of nation, even if we don't have the land, even if we don't have the infrastructure yet, but once you are have that certain status, then it opens you up for aid and resources by the world. And it's a saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Well, I'm gonna give you a news flash, y'all. America got a lot of damn enemies. It's a lot of enemies out there, y'all. Let me go back to the people. Let me see, because I see some people chiming in. Let me see, what's that? What's that, Bo Money? What you said, the PI SC is multi-million-dollar business. Quite possibly the biggest capitalist, imperialistic machination ever in the world's history to this day. Okay, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Told you, man, y'all gotta check out that Comrade. Y'all gotta check out this Comrade show. Definitely, definitely. Andrea said, keep your head up, Atiba. No doubt, no doubt. Who is this? What's this? They said Net Lockett B. Teach. What's up? This is my first time hearing from you. So what's up? I'm glad you joined the family. Wish you could had the opportunity to see my Comrade. Wish y'all had the opportunity to see my Comrade, but he's not with us right now, but he will be back. Madam Vice President, I see you in the house. What's up? What's up? What's going on, Mama Ayo Deli? Good to see you. Y'all had a absolutely outstanding show. If y'all haven't had the opportunity to check out Madam President and Madam Vice President of Mama Ayo Deli and Sama Odd's show called The Foundation of the Nation, it airs every Tuesday at 10 o'clock a.m., I believe. They have some, phenomenal topics, some very important. They talk about a lot of important issues that we really just need to deal with and we need to discuss. And I think last Tuesday, their topic was, they talked about gender roles in our community, which is an extremely important topic. An extremely important topic because we live in a day and time where our gender roles are kind of confused. We have a lot of confusion when it comes to gender and gender roles, and you have and try to drop a little perspective, at least my perspective on this this particular topic. The African family has been under attack for a very, very long time. We have been at war in this country since the inception of chattel slavery. When the first African person was taken forcefully out of our homeland and brought over here and put into a system of chattel slavery, that was an act of war. Be clear about that. And we have been at war ever since. And we are still at war today. The things that you see happening to us is an act of war. Now, understanding that, one of the most successful and effective tactics in war is to cut off the head, cut off the leadership. It's a saying in war, say, cut off the head, the body cannot survive. Historically, in the Black family, the man has been the head of the household. The man has been the provider, the protector, and the guide. Those are the traditional roles of the African man. Like, I'm gonna provide for you, make sure you're straight, make sure my family has what it needs. I'm gonna protect you, make sure ain't nobody messing with me and mine. And I'm a guide, I'm gonna be that guide. I'm gonna provide that discipline. I'm gonna be a man. Unfortunately, under this system of capitalism, of exploitation, chattel slavery, all of these things, the family in general has been attacked on multiple levels. Black, what's up, Black Cloud? How you doing, brother? Good to see you here. You checking in. You said teach. I'm trying to, comrade. I'm trying. But yeah, right now we're in a situation, and a lot of people, talk about the narrative about how the Black woman is too masculine. The Black woman, damn, they're too strong. Yeah, I think we have to understand that. We have to understand this, because a lot has been said about this term called book breaking. And we have to understand it so we'll know what has happened to the Black man in America. A lot of people saw when Kyrie sent a post about a DVD, a movie, or film, a book that some white folks, some Jewish white folks did not like. And they came down with the hammer on this brother. And a lot of people were shocked, be like, hold on, wait a minute. What the hell? Why are you doing all this to this brother? And the elders in the community just, articulated, that's called buck breaking. I mean, you got out of your place in the powers that be. The power structure want to make sure they come down hard on you to make an example of you to get these other Negroes in line. It's buck breaking. Back in slavery, what they would do is they would take the biggest, the baddest, the most rebellious African, and they would put them before everyone, and they would find the most brutal way to murder this brother. That one is always talking, that one is, I ain't doing shit. They get that brother right there. Sometimes they'll do something like take 4 horses, tie each of his limb to a horse. So you got his leg tied to a horse, other leg tied to the horse in the opposite direction, one arm tied like this and the other arm tied like this. And then they will pour some type of gasoline or something, some flammable liquid on him, set him on fire, and make the horses go in opposite direction. So he's screaming, he's burning alive, and the horses are ripping his body apart. This is historic. This is documented. This is what happened. This is a part of our Holocaust that don't nobody want to talk about. But we got to bow down and say, I'm sorry if I offend Jewish people. And then we got to go learn about their Holocaust, even though we had nothing to do with their Holocaust, but they played a big part in what happened to us, and really still playing a big part in. But back to what I was saying. This is what they did to the strongest black male. And they made sure that everybody in the community was there watching it. When our people saw that, especially the women, when our people saw that, we got a message clear, loud and clear. Like, hold on, that's the one that we looked up to. That's the strong brother. If they can do that to that strong brother, damn, the rest of us don't have a chance. So we learn quickly, don't mess with that white man. Nope, don't mess with that white. Do not mess with that white man. That's why when you see Kyrie making the post, or even Kanye saying whatever he say, but he's another story. But I'm gonna go back to Kyrie. When Kyrie make the post and the white man, you see that the white man is displeased. You see Shaquille O'Neal. Oh, look at this idiot. Look at this idiot. Charles Barkley. Boy, no, this just ignorant. This just ignorant. It's stupid. Shannon Sharp. All of these people, because we've been broken. But that's the message. This is called social engineering. And it creates trauma. And if you study anything about epigenetics, we understand that trauma can be passed down from generation to generation. But like the black woman, well, the black woman says, well, you know what? My man cannot protect me against this white man. It's like, I love you, black man, but you can't protect me against this white man. So I got to do what I got to do. I got to be strong. And what happens, being that she has seen the black man brutally murdered like this, and it still happens today. When the police shoots us down in the middle of the street, even when we shoot ourselves down, when our own kind, when we kill each other. And understand this whole thing that people like to refer to as black on black crime, but crime in our community is still a manifestation of living under a system of white supremacy. So don't get that twisted. It all stems from the same source. But the black woman sees this. Every day they see the black man getting beat down in this system. So this is what happens. This is what happens. When she has her baby, because now understand how important the black woman is, because the black woman is the first teacher of the child. To a baby, the black woman is God. That's the first concept of God that a child has, that mother. But she sees what's happening in the community, and she basically says, well, damn, I have to raise my daughter to be strong, because that black man can't protect us. She can't, I got to raise her strong enough to be independent, to be able to stand on her own, to be able to protect herself. Because my man can't protect me. Y'all, this is real. We got to deal. This is real. I heard a sister say, not too long ago, that the black woman is the most unprotected creature on the world, on the planet. Kind of broke my heart, but I'm like, damn, But she teaches her daughters to be strong. But when it comes to her son, she sees what happened to strong black men. She saw what happened to Malcolm X. She saw what happened to Martin Luther King. She saw what happened to Medgar Evers. And the list goes on and on and on and on. The first law of nature is self-preservation. And the last thing that she wants is for her precious baby boy to grow up to be too strong and offend this white man and suffer the fate of so many strong black men. Like I said, this is called social engineering. It is a war tactic that has worked very well on us. That's the genesis of it, of the flipping of the gender roles. Now we can get way deeper because now that whole thing has escalated. It has escalated because we are being attacked on several different fronts. You know, earlier I was telling you, I was saying I don't have a problem with anybody who's in the LGBT community. If you choose to do whatever you want to do, that's your business. I do, however, have a problem with some of the things that the LGBTQ movement, the organization, does. I do have an issue with that, with some of that. Because with this particular movement, it's like our community has been targeted. And I understand this. A lot of people will be like, oh, it's a conspiracy and all of this type of thing. I don't quit go to conspiracy theories. This is just me. I think, you know, a lot of times when you go to conspiracy theories too quickly, you miss a lot of things that's right in front of your face, and you actually miss a lot of opportunities to advance your own movement because we stuck in outer space looking for the reptilians and all of these type of things, and not understanding, well, you know, these are just politically savvy people who took advantage of a situation. So instead of, you know, worrying about a conspiracy theory, we need to become politically savvy and take advantage of situations so we can progress our own movement. You know, that's another story. It's a topic. It's an important one that I think we need to deal with, but, you know, maybe not now. But like I said, the LGBT organization, and like I said, this is not a critique or criticism to anybody who chooses to live in that lifestyle. But the organization has purposely targeted the Black community. I know they have. It's obvious that they have. You can't really even hardly have a Black movie unless you have a gay character, unless there's some type of gay scene in it. You hardly see images of strong Black men. Most of the, and I won't say most, but a lot of the images, a disproportionate amount of the Black men on TV are portraying homosexuals. That's real. I'm being real with that. Now, I recognize this tactic because it was used in the civil rights movement. When they were in the civil rights movement, when they planned to integrate colleges, integrate schools. First, I think one of the first high schools they integrated was in Alabama. And one of the first colleges they integrated was in Mississippi. I actually went to that school. University of Mississippi, Ole Miss. I'm a graduate, Ole Miss. Surprise, yeah, I graduated from Ole Miss. Got a lot of stories about that, but that's for another time. But the reason why they chose like Alabama and Mississippi to integrate first is because these are the places that had the most resistance to the whole integration movement. These are the ones that fought it the hardest. These are the ones that you were going to have the most trouble with integrating. So the logic behind all of it is, if you integrate These places. If you can get Mississippi, if you can integrate into Alabama, then everything else is going to fall in place. That's the tactic. Now, why do I bring that up? Because real similar to what the LGBT community did with the Black community. Historically, the Black community has not really been all that accepting of LGBT lifestyle. It is what it is, whether you agree, disagree, love it, hate it. Our community has not historically been accepting of this particular lifestyle. If you want to say Black people are the most what they call it, homophobic people in the world, and I think that word personally has been weaponized. But yeah. So the tactic is when you're trying to make a push to make the broader society accept a particular lifestyle, you always target the individuals who have the most resistance. Point blank. Like I said, this ain't nothing negative against gay people. I'm just making an observation on political tactics that have been employed. And it has been used on Black people. And it has had a detrimental effect on Black people. But anyway, like I said, if y'all hadn't had the opportunity to see Mama Ayo's show, Foundation of the Nation, it comes on every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And they have a lot of good topics. They was talking about gender roles. But, my whole point is that gender roles within our community have kind of been flipped upside down. And it has gotten to the point where it's extremely detrimental to us because we really need strong Black men in the community. A lot of Black women get criticized because they say we're too strong or too masculine. And I don't necessarily go that far because I understand that this came about as a survival mechanism because women had to be strong because their men were being brutally attacked. And under the white power structure, they say, you know what? The Black woman is not as threatening as the Black man. So, okay. Because one thing you have to understand, after slavery, coming out of slavery, the Black family was intact. This is something very important to note. Chattel slavery was one of the most brutal systems ever known to man, ever on the planet Earth. This is a system in which our people were not even considered to be human beings, where you could be murdered, lynched, raped, anything. Rape your daughter, rape your wife, rape your child, rape you, rape your son. All of these things happened and nothing was ever going to be done about it. Nothing ever was done about it. But coming out of a system like that, our ancestors, families were still intact. We had strong Black families. So the question that you got to think, what the hell happened to them? If we could survive chattel slavery, why the hell are our families so dysfunctional today? It ain't an accident. You want to trace it historically? Our families were broken up largely due to political policies. It basically said, okay, Black woman, I will give you resources. I will give you money. I will give you food. I will give you a place to stay. I will give you all of these things, but there is only one condition that I have. You got to get rid of that black man. He cannot be with you. He cannot be with you. This is when you see the rise of single black women families, single black mom families. And you combine that with the 1,000,001 other ways that we have been attacked. All the way down to the type of music that is promoted to our youth. Music that basically celebrates and encourages us to disrespect our women. It encourages us to murder our men and women, really, and children. It encourages us to spend all our money on things we do not even need. It encourages the breakdown of unity. It encourages individualism. It encourages competition, not cooperation, but competition. It encourages all of these things that are destructive for us and anti-revolutionary, that goes against the very principles of our liberation. And the people who making the most money of this are these white folks who own, the means of production, basically, the record labels. A lot of times we look at, oh man, yeah, or such and such, Jay-Z and all of this stuff. Yeah, Jay-Z making a lot of money. He's doing real well. But behind Jay-Z, there's a white dude, and usually a Jewish guy, who's making a whole lot more money than him. And that's the reality of it. These are all war tactics. These are all manifestations of a capitalist system that don't give a damn about the well-being of human beings, only care about making as much money for the ruling elite. And when you're under this type of situation, the people that get hurt most are the ones who are most vulnerable. And what makes us so vulnerable? Let's think about that. What makes us so vulnerable? Because, excuse me, our education system, our political system, our social system, our religious systems, all of the systems that govern our lives are controlled by individuals who benefit from our exploitation. That makes us vulnerable. When we don't control the resources, when we don't control the institutions, when we don't control the systems that control our lives, that make us damn vulnerable to anything somebody want to come at with. And capitalism is a predatory system. It preys on the weak. It preys on the most vulnerable. If you don't have a defense, then you're going to get steamrolled. And that's what happens in our community. That's why do you think people from other countries come to America and they set up right in the black community? Because we are vulnerable to be exploited. Like the joke they used to play on children at school, put a sign on the back of on the back saying, "Kick me." That's kind of how black people are in America. That's how the black community is in America. We got a big sign in our community that says, "Exploit me, exploit my resources, exploit my talent, exploit my money, exploit me for all of these things." That's why what we doing here is so important. That's why the need to gain land, independence, self-determination, reparations, and an economic system that ain't trying to exploit everybody. That's why that struggle, that fight is so important. That's why we got to free the land, y'all. It ain't just a catchphrase. It's something that must happen. It must manifest. And we are the ones who got to do it, because ain't nobody going to do it for us. I just been rambling. I hope I've been making some kind of sense, because I just been kind of going from subject to subject and subject. And y'all been chiming in. I appreciate this, y'all. And making me feel good about myself. You see, watch the show Pose. I can't watch that show. I'm sorry, Andrea. I saw a preview for it, and I'm like, nope, not for me. Let me see, Freedom Power. There are several documentaries on PBS that documents the LGBTQIA mafia. What does IA stand for? them a couple of more letters. Agenda, origins, and its goals of pushing and saturating society with homosexuality and the fear of going against homosexual behavior in public. Also, some documentaries on that. That's good. I need to look up some. I'd be interested to see people who've actually done real concrete study on the subject. But I mean, what they're doing is quite obvious. I mean, they don't make a secret. It's not a secret. They don't even say it's a secret. They're basically trying to normalize a certain behavior. They want that behavior to be normalized. And they have people who are in very high position, in high places, because there are people in high places who practice this lifestyle. I'll say that. So, hey, they got friends in high places. That's, one reason why their movement is going so well. Let me see. And too many of us bought into the BS, thinking that being a strong Black woman was it, when we need our Black men by our sides more than others. That's so true. That's so true. And that's a really good statement, because you're right. A lot of us buy into the hype because one, it's been promoted to us, that's that whole independent woman, the strong Black woman. And let's be clear, nothing wrong with a strong Black woman. We need strong Black women, just like we need strong Black men, just like we need strong Black children. But we don't need them individually. We need them collectively together so we can have strong Black families. That's the key. That's the key. See, they've been preaching this individualism to our women. Like, oh, you could be strong, but you don't need a man. Being strong means you don't need a man. And that's BS. That's bull. That is bull. Because I'm gonna tell you something about this system. Especially if you have Black sons. If you got a son, you got a man. Eventually, this is what happens. One or two things happen. Eventually, if he's been raised and he doesn't have a Black role model to follow, what's going to happen, and he's going to go out and he's going to look for one to find. Because like a lot of women would attest to this, at a certain age, y'all start having problems with y'all son. They start feeling themselves, get a little disrespectful, because they need that masculine energy to balance things out. They need that authority to be like, hold on, bro, you feeling yourself a little too much. Bring it down. Bring it down. I mean, it's because like, I've been in a situation with my children, and the mom be like, hey, dude, blah, blah, and I'd be like, hey, all of a sudden. And a lot of times, well, sometimes, Queen might take a little offense to that. I'd be like, no, you know what I'm saying? That's my job. That is my responsibility. It's a meiotic balance. We got to work together in order to build strong nations, to build strong families, to build strong communities, to build a strong race. So yeah, my bad. I was supposed to be but no, you're right. We need each other. This whole idea, I don't need a man, and all of it is ridiculous. It's counterproductive. It's counter-revolutionary. It is counter liberation, and it goes against us. It does not aid to the liberation of our people, not one bit. So, right on, Melly Queen. Here we go. Let me see. That paradigm was by design. We were forced to participate because our babies are not to suffer if we can help it. Let me see. Participate because our baby, because our babies are not to suffer if we can help it. I think I get what you're saying, but yeah, that paradigm definitely was by design. It was not an accident. See, the thing about it, one thing that we must understand, that big part of our culture, and when I say culture, I'm talking about more so mainstream Black people. I'm not talking about people who consider ourselves New African like we are. But when you look at the mainstream culture of Black people, it is not organic. It's not something that just happened naturally. It is something that has been socially engineered for us. It sprung out of the need to exploit us. See, it is not natural at all. It's not an accident that the Black man is out of the house. So it's not an accident that there is so much violence in our community. It's not an accident that we don't unite with each other. This is how we've been trained and conditioned to behave. These are all manifestations of integrating into a system that is founded on white supremacy. As a matter of fact, you can look, most of these problems that we're talking about right now, you can look at the rise of them. They really exploded after we integrated into this system. No doubt. Let me see here. Freedom, power, and the, oh, who did? Oh, my bad. I'm getting something else. And the agenda was deliberately pushed on Black communities in an aggressive way, just as prophecy suggested. Thank you for co-signing there. I appreciate y'all. Know I like it when y'all agree with me. What was it? I first encountered the agenda directly 30 years ago. Maybe I'll tell you that story at some point. Yeah, freedom, power. You don't tease us. That's called a teaser right there in media. We call that a teaser. You talk about something, you just bring it up, and then you say, yeah, we're going to talk about that later. See, I told you need to come on, get your own show, comrade. You waiting on, the people need your voice. Y'all hitting me up. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Let me try to get through these comments. Our self-hatred has been the most detrimental to us, because until we love ourselves and heal, we are going to keep repeating and living this vicious cycle. That is so true. That is so very true. We will continue to live to be in a vicious cycle if we don't heal, y'all. And that's why it's so important that we create our own institution. That is why it's so important that we gain control of our own land, because it's really difficult to heal from trauma while you're still being traumatized, because every night our people are being traumatized. In one way or the other, we are being traumatized. So we got to separate from the source of the trauma. And the source is this system of white supremacy. That's the source of this trauma. It may manifest itself in different ways, but ultimately that is the source. When you see the two brothers arguing over, you stepped on my shoes, and it ends up with somebody dead, that the source of that trauma is a system of white supremacy. Point blank. So we have to separate from that which is causing us trauma if we ever truly want to heal. kind of like, you know, you got a cut on your head, but somebody keep punching you on that spot. They keep punching you. You ain't gonna be able to fix that problem until you stop that person from punching you. That's the only way you can heal from it. So you are absolutely right, Melly Queen. Let me see. You said pause. Was it what pose was very good, actually very good. Okay, I'll take your word for it. The family is, and I am thinking about that. That show was about the cross dressers or something like that. Wasn't it? That is that the show you talking about? Because if that's not the show you talking about, I'm sorry, I didn't. I just totally miscategorized it, but I'm thinking that's the show you talking about. Here you go, Madam Vice President. The family is the secret weapon to nation building. Yes, it is. We say that because our hearts have been broken time and time again. I got you. No doubt. No doubt. But yeah, definitely the family is definitely the secret weapon. That's our secret power. That has always been the backbone of our community, the family, y'all. It is always. It's the reason why we have survived through an unbelievable amount of trauma and torture and a system that has tried its damnness to take us out. That's why a lot of times when we look at our community and we get frustrated and we look down and say, Lord, what's wrong with our people? Look at the violence, look at the murder, look at the death. We don't trust each other. We backstabbing and we don't support our businesses. We give our money to the white man. We can go on and on and on and on and on forever talking about all of the negativity that's going on in our community. But I say this all the time. All of those negative things that you see in our community, they are to be expected. We should expect these things. They're predictable, given our history, given what has happened to us in this country. All of those things are predictable and to be expected. What's unexpected and what is a true testament of the nature of our people is the fact that we have survived and we are still thriving here today. And we still fight, regardless of how much they have done to try to take us out. No matter how many genocidal programs they have put upon our people. We have rised above it. We have survived and we will survive. And not only are we going to survive, we are going to win this war. Point blank, period. So yeah, word them up. Melly Queen saying, come on, comrade. We need you. Talking about freedom power. We need to get you a show, comrade. Oh yeah, you was talking about, you say, Andrea, you said it was about transgender. Yeah, I mean, whatever, you know. I just don't have any kind of, I don't really want to look at that. I mean, you know, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't really have, I don't want to see that, period, you know. And that's all I'll say. But the stories of what they faced is just like what we are doing, trying to be accepted, is based on the 80s. Now, hold on. Okay. I will say this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have some extraordinary stories. I'm pretty sure they have had to go through a whole lot trying to live the lifestyle that they want to live and trying to be whoever they feel they are. You know, I'm not going to pretend that I understand everything about it. I don't. I do not. You know, matter of fact, anytime I meet somebody from that community, I usually have a long conversation with them because I like learning and I like hearing from different perspectives, especially perspectives that are not mine. So, like I said, I don't have a problem, you know, with them. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they went through hell trying to be who they, you know, who they feel they are, or whatever the case may be. But that's just not my taste as far as TV is concerned. So I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's a good movie. I mean, a good show. It probably is wonderful, but oh nope, not gonna watch it. Sorry. Let me see. I have never watched that mess, P-Valley Eve. Well, tell us how you really feel, Melly Queen. All right, Melly Queen. I must advise you right now. Make sure you don't get put back in Facebook jail now. Look like you kind of walking that tightrope. Facebook police looking at you like, wait a minute, you talking about P-Valley? Anyway, anyway. Well, no, I'm pretty sure it probably has some good storylines to it. It probably is well done. But it's just not my taste. It's not something I really care to watch. I don't watch television that much anyway. You know, let me just be clear about that. The majority of things I watch on television are documentaries. I love documentaries. I love learning things. I love being educated. I'm a real nerd. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm a real nerd. You know, a lot of times people look at me from a distance and they have a perception of me, and they get to know me. I'm just a geek, a nerd. Like, for real. I just don't have the glasses and the funny laugh. I might do have the laugh. But yeah. Horrible. How you doing, brother? Good to see you checking in, man. Good to see you checking in. I'm still trying to get your stuff loaded up to our stuff, man. I'm having all kind of technical difficulties. I got to get a new computer. My computer just died on me. And it makes things kind of difficult. But, hey. If y'all, if anybody checking in, they don't know by now, our comrade Atiba is going to be out for just a second because he got his phone taken from him. And make sure y'all give that brother some revolutionary love. Give Atiba some likes right now, because I know at some point he's gonna watch this broadcast, because he watched all of them, and he love it when you see people getting likes and see the comments and see how people react to what we're doing. So y'all give that brother some likes right now, so when he see this, it can cheer him up, it can pick him up, because really these programs that we do is like an opportunity for him to escape his current situation, his reality, and it allows him to gain some form of freedom. You know what I'm saying? And then he's doing, because T will be dropping that knowledge, man. He got that political science down. You know what I'm saying? He be correcting us at all time. Be like, well, brother, that term right there, you didn't quite use it correctly. You know what I'm saying? It actually means this, and so he be on it, man. And he always encouraging us to study, so we can make sure that our ideology is correct and on point. So when we go before the people, we're telling y'all the correct things, giving y'all the correct information. So yeah, definitely. What you said, what you talking about? Freedom, power. Nobody promotes rapists, thieves, murderers, liars, etc., because they are all bad, immoral, unprincipled, or destructive behavior to the family and community. You see where I'm going with that? You see? Yeah, I do. It's kind of, you kind of had like this certain sarcastic voice, when you said nobody promotes rapists, murderers, and all this. Almost nobody. And if someone were to promote these negative things, then it seems like they've been miseducated to the point of where they are acting in a way that is detrimental to their own self-interest. So anytime you encounter a people who is acting in a way that is detrimental to their own self-interest, you got to ask your question, what the hell has happened to this people? Because the first law of nature is self-preservation. A species, any species, gonna do whatever it takes in order for the species, for the race, for their kind to survive. So when you encounter a species, in this case, a race of people who are acting counter to their own self-preservation, you gotta ask yourself, what the hell has happened to those people? And that's what we gotta deal with. because our people are collectively not well. Because we promote, we sing about, we dance to, we party to things that are destructive to our people. I'm guessing that's where you was going. Okay, I see where you're going. What's up, Sama? How you doing, Madam President? I'm telling if you're bragging on y'all show, Foundations of the Nation, make sure everybody check y'all out. You know, y'all talk about them really important important topics. Freedom power. Well, maybe American capitalist and psychopath. Yep, definitely. Think about American capitalists and how they do it. They promote murderers, rapers, and all of that stuff in a real slick way. They take a murderer, a rapist, a genocide, and then they put it up on a pedestal and tell you it's the most wonderful thing in the world. They make you envy the murderer. And in a way, you almost gotta admire that shit. Cause like, damn, that's powerful as hell. You can take a murderer, a rapist, psychopathic behavior, and make the world bow down to it and envy it. Damn, that's cold-blooded. I mean, think about it. Like last Thanksgiving, like you had the whole world celebrating genocide. Celebrating genocide. That's some powerful shit right there. Damn. Made me think about something, comrade. But yeah, no doubt. I've been on about an hour and a half. Get ready to wrap up in a little while. I mean, I tried, y'all. You know, I ain't have my comrade with me. I miss him. I'm sad. I'm lonely. But I tried to, you know, give some perspective, maybe say something that was worthwhile. I appreciate all the dialogue from everybody. Of course, you know, I always say we have the most informed, most politically aware audience in the land. And y'all keep everything on point. Like I said, I learned more from y'all than I probably, you know, could ever teach y'all. So, you know, I appreciate everything, you know, y'all do and all the perspectives and all that good old stuff. And I'm not sure if next week we will I'm not sure if next week Atiba will have his phone back yet or not. But either way, you know, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do what we do, and we're gonna have a good old fashioned time. Like I said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. And yeah, it's that holiday season, y'all. And you know, I'm not the one to tell people, don't you celebrate Christmas, don't you do it. No, I mean, you do whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? I will say that it's a capitalistic holiday that promotes greed and capitalism in general. And it would be wise for us to take some of these traditions that do not support our movement and at minimum flip it up so we can start benefiting our struggle. If we only took the money we spent in Christmas at Christmas time, because I know it's billions, maybe trillions of dollars that we spend during Christmas time alone. Every year, if we just took that money and dedicated to one of our institutions. Hold on, wait a minute. Erica Wooden, hold on. What's up, Erica? How you doing? Now, first of all, I want to welcome you to our program, dear Erica, because you are a great sister and I love you dearly. But you can't be calling me Kevin on this broadcast. I know it's your first time and you didn't know no better. So, you know, I'm gonna let you off with a warning. But yeah, you can refer to me as Brother Prophecy, or you can refer to me as Brother J-Rod. I don't really care. You can call me that black ass dude. I don't care. But not Kevin. Not here. Not at this space. But anyway, like I was telling everybody, well, anyway, I'm glad you checking in. I sure do appreciate you checking in. Welcome to the show. It's like a big family right here. We all converse and we all try to build, and we all trying to basically, what we're trying to do is we trying to make a better world. We trying to make a better world. But like I was saying, if we just took the money that we spent on Christmas, during Christmas time, and we put it toward building our own institution, in a matter of years, we will have our own banks, our own hospitals, our own any kind of industry, schools, the type of things that will benefit us collectively. They could change our paradigm. They could change our culture. They could change all of the self-destructive behavior that we suffer from all the time. All the things that we complain about. Oh, we just killed each other. Oh, we hate each other. We could change that if we invested in our own liberation. But see, we have been trained in condition to invest in our own oppression. We want to go out and spend money with people who don't give a damn about us. Kyrie Irving just got dropped from Nike because he promoted a video that taught Black history. But unfortunately, for some people, our history is intertwined with other people. Our history is filled with oppression, brutality, and exploitation. And in order to learn our history, you learn about the individuals who have exploited us, who have brutalized us, who have murdered us. So if you study our history, you're going to learn about that. And that is offensive to the exploiter. That's offensive to the colonizer. And they get mad when you teach your history that exposes them for the things that they have done. So now Nike dropped Kyrie's because he shared a video that taught us some stuff about our history that they tried to hide. And Nike dropped them. But how many of us gonna go and buy some Nikes for Christmas? Gonna spend $100, $200, $300 on some Nikes. It already told you, we're like, well, you know what? I like you for promoting our shoes and buying our shoes, but I don't like it when you teach your history that offends Jewish people. Can't do that. So, yeah, definitely. That's right, Erica, Brother Prophecy. Power to the people. But no, for real, man. Thank you for joining the show. We're actually about to wrap up. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this. Get a little business out of the way before I get out of here. You're watching the NABA broadcast, the New African Broadcast Association, where we educate, entertain, and elevate. We have several shows go on all through the week that is designed to educate your mind, free your mind, and collectively bring us together so we can put in this work, so we can change the world, because we don't have to live like this, y'all. We can do better. I'm better than this. You're better than this. Collectively, let's get together and let's change the world and let's be better than this. That's my thoughts on that. But yeah, we got shows designed to really bring us together, to educate us, enlighten us, and build, nation build. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build, y'all. Tonight, Thursday, we have conversation between comrades. Like I said, unfortunately, my comrade ain't with me, but y'all with me. So that's what I need, As long as I got y'all, we good. Friday, tomorrow, tune in to Melly Queen show, who is fresh out of Facebook jail, and we're trying to keep her out of Facebook jail. The Truth and Power Corner, and somewhere she posted who's gonna be on the show. I actually didn't get to that comment, and I apologize for that, Melly Queen. I'm trying to look for it, but it's so many comments. But yeah, I appreciate that. Whoever she got on the show tomorrow is gonna be pretty dope, because she always have these dope guests and have great shows. And at any given moment, we'll pop in. You'll see Madam President Sama you'll hear Madam Vice President. You'll hear myself. And I ain't gonna lie, when I get on Melly Queen, something get into me, I just be going off. I just be going off. Like I got stuff I gotta get off my chest. But all right, Freedom Power. I hear you. He said you did kind of all right, props. Just kidding. I appreciate that, man. He said your 5-5 was excellent, especially being host, producer, and comment reader. Thank you, brother. Thank you a lot. That was real funny. Told you, man, you need your own show, man. You got jokes, you funny, then you got charisma. That one time you came on the show was like one of our best moments, period, man. I play that clip all the time. I'm like, dang, that brother be going off, man. Melly Queen, you said our guest will be Baba, was that Kwaku? Shaka Shango on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time on Blog Talk at area code 516-387-1549. So you can call in, you can listen to the show, you can comment by calling in, or you can, go to the Blog Talk site and look up Truth and Power Corner. And you can listen to it on your computer and your phone or however you want to listen to it. But yeah, she has an excellent program and she does what she does every Friday. And tomorrow she got a dope guest. And yeah, man, who knows, man? I might pop in and say a couple of words in there. But yeah, that's Fridays. And on Sundays, you have the Voices of New Africa, y'all. And that's why I got my comrade Kakaye, grandmaster teacher, elder, a wealth of knowledge. This brother is a walking dictionary, man. I learned so much from this brother, and that's none other than our elder Fadali. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be sitting in there too. That Sunday. Then Monday, we got the president and vice president and myself on the New African Perspective, y'all. The show is dedicated to the liberation of New African people. That is the president and vice president of the Republic of New Africa. And, we do our thing. That's our most structured show. We have segments, and she has something called the Cadre Corner, where she go over a piece or a document or a book or something that, encourage people to read and all of that good stuff. So it's a great show. And then Tuesday, you have Foundations of the Nation. And these queens, these sisters talk about very, very important things. Like, she talked about last week, gender roles in our community and the changing gender roles and what that means and how we need to navigate through things and a whole bunch of things. And she always got a good thing. And they deal a lot with how we deal with the trauma that we've been faced, because all of us have been traumatized in America, and it manifests within our community. In order for us really to get things together, we got to heal from this trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why you see so much violence in our community. People are lashing out. People are being triggered, because that's what trauma does to you. It causes things to trigger you, So if we really got to get this thing together, then we're going to have to heal from that trauma. But the only way we can heal from that trauma is we got to separate from those things that are traumatizing us. You can't heal from an abusive relationship if you're still in an abusive relationship. So we got to get out of this abusive relationship. Ned, how you doing? Thank you. I really enjoyed your show. Also enjoyed reading everyone's comment. Love and peace to everybody. That's right. I appreciate that. I did too. I enjoyed the show also. I enjoy this every week. So with that, you know what I'm saying? I think it's time for me to go and get up out of here. Leave y'all with, I'll leave y'all with Free to Land, y'all. Join us next week. We'll be back. We'll be doing the thing. Join Melly Queen tomorrow and all the broadcasts. And look out for our initiatives and programs that are coming soon, because we ain't just going to be talking about liberation of the people. We got to be about it. We got to do it. We got to play an active role in our liberation. We can't just sit up here and talk about what we gonna do or talk about what we need to do. We got to do it, y'all. We can't just talk about it. We got to be about it. But with that, I'm going to leave y'all with our closing words, and that is free the land, free the land, free the land. Love y'all. See y'all. So I'm going to see y'all later on this week, y'all. What I'm talking about. I'm up here all the time. But anyway. Peace.
And when you bring it in, you brought it in for the purpose of weakening the revolutionary tide of the people.
It must not be a capitalist system, but we don't want to exploit anybody. We don't want to be exploited, and we don't want to exploit anybody.
Ain't nobody going to do it for us. There's nobody outside of yourself, nobody outside of ourselves that's going to do this work for us. We have to put in that real work.
Because the better you are at exploiting people, the more successful you are within capitalism.
We want to say salute to all our political prisoners, our POWs, our elder comrades in exile.
The satisfaction we need as a people only comes through liberation and independence.
Because we're not just building for self, we're building for the family, because the family is broken. We're building for the community is broken. The nation is broken. The race is under attack. We're in a state of emergency.